Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you do, you will be successful. This is the story of Nneka Ijeoma, who launched her first book titled Memoirs of a Professional Bridesmaid. Families and friends of Nneka Ijeoma gathered at number 10 Gabi Adeosun Admiralty Way, Lekki for a cocktail and conversation session for the new book, Memoirs of a Professional Bridesmaid. The book has 146 pages and is definitely a must-read for young ladies, brides, bridesmaids, brides-to-be, and various vendors who are integral to the value chain of the wedding industry. The author sometimes simply pokes fun at trivial issues as she raises concerns about social values that have been turned upside down in the name of civilization. Nneka Ijeoma, in her book, raised concern at the extent to which the marriage institution has now assumed a dimension with focus on grand wedding of the year instead of marriage of a lifetime. One of the keynote points of Nneka Ijeoma's book, Memoirs of a Professional Bridesmaid, is its wide appeal to men and women, the young and old, and those who want to have an insight into what really goes on behind the scene of a modern Nigerian wedding. The book launch, which was anchored by Okbo Aret, began with the opening prayer performed by the mother of the author, Mrs. Betty Ijeoma. Next in the lineup of activities at the event was the author's speech. Nneka Ijeoma started by thanking all for coming to support her. She said her love for writing prompted the writing of the book, and that it's an autobiography of some sort.
Memoirs of a Professional Bridesmaid is an easy read with its structure and its writing style. I created very short chapters for a very fast and easy read. And now we are in an era of social media, so I incorporate a bit of that with the shorthand, the social media icons, WhatsApp conversations, which I call my chronicles. This is all to keep it fresh and new and interesting and to make people want to read it. I also add tips at the end of each chapter which will be helpful not just to bridesmaids but also to brides-to-be.
This was followed by the first reading and conversation session between Okbo Aret and Mrs. Odunayo Adewuyi.
Don't be a burden to your friends by lamenting and counting your woes. Remember that they are planning a wedding and getting pressured from all angles. Just be honest when they are discussions over financial obligations that cannot be negotiated, or they can be negotiated, like cost of dresses, etc. There's no need to burden them with things that they have fixed prices on, like flight tickets, because that comes with the territory of the acceptance, with the acceptance of being a bridesmaid. I can't lie, I have felt compelled to pay for a lot of things, and yes, for a friend you want to go above and beyond, but be careful, especially if you have a lot of friends. I see it this way. Most brides will want to wear the most expensive designer dress and get married at the Oriental Hotel or the Four Seasons. But most realize that it's not feasible, and so they wear less expensive dresses and get married at locations that they can afford. So why not follow the same mentality?
The next item on the agenda was an engaging interactive session where members of the audience shared their various experiences at Nigerian weddings.
Just following on from Odun's experience, talking about guest artists, has anybody seen anything at a wedding where you're going, have we gotten here now? Is this where we are? Is this what we're doing these days? Has anybody had that experience? Or everything it's all good, it's all part of the Nigeria wedding experience?
Maybe the cost, well, I don't know, probably has nothing to do with the bridesmaids, but maybe the cost of the ashwebi, I think it's crazy sometimes, you know. They're asking for 70K, 80K, that sort of thing.
The second reading and conversation was with veteran event planner, Mrs. Funke Bokna Obrute. During their conversation, Mrs. Funke Bokna Obrute said many wedding vendors lack professionalism. She implored all prospective brides to always do a background check on any vendor they want to use, advising all would-be brides to focus more on their marriage and not the wedding.
Most weddings, or most weddings we do, it's just always something. It's just one form of drama. And there's a lot that you need to hide. As a planner, we know a lot of secrets. Because we're involved even with the families. So we know a lot of secrets, we know a lot of things. We're involved in the family drama. I'm like, why are you involving me in this? What's going on? I'm not part of this. But they just say, sit down, who can listen? They'll be talking, they'll be arguing. I'm like, I don't want to know. But you just have to sit down there and just say, Mommy, it's okay, ma. Mommy, she wasn't rude, like, oh no, daddy, no. And then the sister wants to slap. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot. So those secrets, I usually am very careful because because sometimes if I explain if I say the family will know it's them, so I wouldn't want to, Yeah, but there's a lot of drama. There's a lot of drama, and then they're just things. There's some unrealistic expectations from clients or from brides, because most of the time or sometimes brides want to outdo the next wedding, so.
Father Malicious Teko, who is the author's mentor, prayed on the book before it was launched.
We know that producing this book has been possible only because you have made it so. We thank you for the wisdom you gave to her, for the inspiration, and above all for the courage to begin and complete it. We ask you to come and take all the glory, all the honor, all the power and majesty in Jesus' name.
The highlight of the day was the unveiling and launching of the book, Memoirs of a Professional Bridesmaid. The chairman of the day, Mr. Deji Hastrop, said he is proud of the author for finding time to put up a good write-up that is a must-read for all. He enjoined all to get a copy of the book, as its quality is the best.
I want to congratulate you especially for this wonderful work that you have done. I'm especially proud of you, and I just want you to know that it gives me a great pleasure and with pride in your talents and with prayers for more good things to come. It gives me a great pleasure to launch your first of many books.
Mrs. Betsy Ijeoma, mother of the author, thanked God for the great achievement. The proud mother could not hide her joy as she thanked all who had come to celebrate with her daughter. She also launched the book.
I am going to present this check in memory of our beloved icons. People call them so many things, a man of timber and caliber, juggernaut and caterpillar or whatever. But my father was just a calm, kind, gentle soul. And so was my mother. My mother did nothing but in the evenings, which I'll run away when she's trying to do that. Maybe if she catches me one or two, she'll go around the whole of VI, Barbage, giving alms to the poor. And I keep telling her, some of these people are waiting for you. And the Mbadiwe Foundation, which I will hand over to you, or do I do directly to Nneka? And we are proud for this. You've made me so proud. I am exceedingly grateful to God. And I thank my parents. You remember that my mother would see me and tell me that Nneka was the one that looks like her. And I was like, what about me? I'm here. And Nneka looks like you and acts like you. But what do you expect if I am in a family of 5 boys? I became a tomboy without begging for it. We launched this book, or present this book, from Kinsilia Foundation, the sum of 500.
This was followed by contributions from friends and uncles of the author, Nneka Ijeoma. An interactive session immediately followed, as the audience shared various personal experiences about weddings. Ambassador Greg Mbadiwe, an uncle of the author, delivered the vote of thanks, which was followed by book signings. The gratified father of the author, Mr. Kingsley Ijeoma, could not contain his joy. He said the author, Nneka Ijeoma, has made him very proud. He also thanked all for coming, as he wished them journey mercy back home.
Done so well. God bless you. The priest that is always helping to put things together. God bless you. I appreciate. I had all the accolades. Back there, I had everything I was saying about you. I'm pleased. I'm happy. You know.
From Biscon Communications, we heartily congratulate Nneka Ijeoma on the launching of her new book, Memoirs of a Professional Bridesmaid.
Oh, like I said earlier, I've always wanted to write a book. So this was something that I felt I had a lot of knowledge on, and I felt it's something that a lot of people, especially Nigerians, you know, everybody loves a party in Nigeria, everybody loves weddings. So I felt it's something that a lot of people would enjoy and also relate to. And I felt like it was an easy and understandable read. Not really challenges, but I learned a lot. So along the way, there's a lot of things you learn when you're writing. Initially, I thought the hardest part would be to just write the book, like to write the manuscript. But then there's a lot that goes along with it. For instance, choosing your publishers, you know, and your publishers have to choose you as well. So it's not just choosing your publishers. And just the printing, there's a lot of things that I'm naturally a perfectionist. So it's things I wanted to be hands-on with. So there was a lot of back and forth and a lot of things that I thought wouldn't give me as much stress as it did. So, well, everybody is asking me the same, so I'm guessing it means that maybe there's another one. Just watch out. You never know. You never know. Thank you.
Very proud of her. You know, I'm very highly appreciated that she could do a thing like this. I never thought. So, not just being a surprise, but, you know, a pleasant one for that matter. She should continue, keep the flame, keep the fire burning, never give up. You know, there'll be challenges, there might be some distortion, but let her not give up. Mixed with other things. If she has the stamina, let her just keep going. The sky will be the limit, and we're always going to stand by her.
Proud would not even capture how I feel. I just feel that truly the Lord has embarrassed me with blessings, and I'm so grateful. I'm happy. I cannot really quantify my feelings in words, but I just feel elated and I feel happy. Yes, I have read the book, not all of it, and it's a book you get into. Like, even though I've read the chapters that were read again by the different readers, they're reading it even brought other slant to the book, and the book is an easy read. It is so informative, especially to what has happened between the bridal and wedding of my age. Some people would say, oh, ancient age, you know, but to today. I think that the book is very informative. And it's easy, it's witty, and everything she has written there, you can relate to what is happening today. And it is, like she said, 100% true. Because as it's being read, I could now tell who it was that was in the wedding that I know. Thank you. Thank you.